Welcome back to the Brew Crew Podcast, everyone. This is episode 293. Back in the church room bar, back together, chilling.
Well,
I think we had a nice. That was actually.
It's fucking 93 degrees today, so.
Oh well, I didn't feel that
because
because I've been inside all day. But usually pre-production is a little bit of this, a little bit of that. You know, cover the show, cover life. Today, neither of them. Just what are we entertained by? And I liked it. It was nice. And we're so in sync on what we're into right now that, boy, it was just a great conversation.
If you ever have time and you're not watching the BCP, check out Kill Tony. That's what we were talking about.
But watch BCP first.
We disagree with who our number one is, but that's fine.
Who is your number one?
I would probably take that Martin guy. He's the one that has cerebral palsy.
Yeah.
He's...
All right. He's really funny. Very funny.
William Montgomery's up there, too.
Yeah.
They've been getting on Martin, too, about being able to drive or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm not like this other guy, and they throw each other. Anyways.
Yeah.
How
much money do you think they're making?
Oh,
because the way they describe their success, the regulars.
Yeah.
If you're not familiar with this, basically what happens is they bring up comedians that want to volunteer for a minute of their time, but if one is exceptional, they become a regular. And the regulars get taken under the wing, and they go all these tours with Tony Hinchcliffe and some other comedians. So long story short, I watched an episode from a long time ago where David Lucas said that he is now able to fly first class on all his flights. Yeah. The amount of money that takes for all of your flights, and that guy's flying all over the place, you know. He's got to be making a lot of money.
Well, because he's headlining or featuring all of his shows.
I don't think he's funny enough to headline, but that's just me.
Because he needs input. He's a roaster.
Yeah, he is. Yeah,
and that's why they go all the time.
Like a Stavros kind of.
Where the one we were talking, the kid, the one that looks like he's 12. Mm-hmm. I forget his Heath Cordes. Heath Cordes slept in for a show. Tony was taking the people. He fucking missed the flight.
Damn.
And I guess he's according to Tony, of the regulars, he's the heaviest drinker.
Oh, wow.
And he's 95 pounds, and he looks like he's 12.
Damn. You're good with names.
It took me a little second to... so this is the surprise beer. If you watch 292, great. This is going to be a callback. If you haven't, stop this and go watch that, because it's going to be a callback. This is... I'm not going to let you know. I'm going to let you know it's from Fermentorium. I want you to pick out...
Able to drink yet?
Yeah. I want you to pick out what it is. It's an IPA. I'll give you... It's an IPA for Fermentorium.
Oh, whoa. Damn. Fruit Loops or Fruity Pebbles?
You're right there.
Fruity Pebbles.
It's called Vape Life. This has been
Vape Life, yeah.
Probably my most shocking beer of the year.
This beer is crazy. This is like a fruit IPA. I mean, it's not fruit in the traditional beer sense. This is like
a cotton candy IPA.
Cotton candy, all right.
Right?
Yeah, you could taste it.
When I saw this, I like everything that Fermentorium, again from southeastern Wisconsin, puts out. I happened to do a rather big purchase, and I was like, I didn't see it was a cotton candy IPA. Wow. When I pulled it, like, wow.
Yeah.
Shocking.
That's funny because I had a beer from Prairie while I was in Oklahoma that was also vape labeled, and it was also fruit, and it was amazing.
Which is what made me think about this when we were talking about it. I was like, boy, do I have one for you. So anyways, that's going to be our starter beer. If you want to know, I'm just going to say it's just amazing. I think it's technically a New England style IPA, but it comes through amazing. I thought it was like a 7.1. But anyways, just a preamble to our first.
Yeah.
Got a lot of beer news to cover, but we had to obviously start with the starter. Did you hear, JT, that the Kelsey brothers were wanting to make a beer?
I didn't.
Breweries lined up around the block to get that, as my wife puts it, that T-Swift money.
Yeah.
So they picked Founders.
Oh, okay.
So they're going to be doing a beer with Founders, just our neighbors to the north in Michigan, what type of beer do you see when you see the Kelsey brothers? What kind of beer?
What kind of beer I see at the Kelsey brothers?
What kind of beer?
With Travis, I think I see a craft beer drinker. With the brother, I think I see more of like a Stone Cold style.
Yeah.
Just drinking light beer and stuff. Even though Stone Cold now drinks his own IPA. I'm going to go with, between them, IPA.
I'm with you. So one craft beer drinker versus like swill.
Yeah.
Or something approachable. you can't, I don't know, with Founders, you got to think that they're going to craft it up a little bit because they're not known for their, their easy drinker, their Pilsners or their lagers.
Maybe they're due.
But do you lose a little bit of that appeal to the everyman? Again, as we'll always say with Warped Wing, because we know this, over 50% of the beers they sell is their lager, their Troutwood lager. Even though they have other more desirable sought after beers for a craft beer podcast.
Are you losing?
But I'm with
sales?
you. I'm with you. Probably IPA, but
or maybe Founders. Yeah, like you said, they're not known for swill. Maybe they're due for a swill. Yeah. They have they made one? Like who makes garage beer? That's not Founders, right?
No.
So maybe that's what they're going for though, is a garage beer style.
Something that they can...
something they can market as like drink on Sunday.
Have you ever listened to their podcast?
Founders?
Yeah. No.
No, I haven't. No.
Looking up.
I never really thought that what those two guys are talking about would be appealing to me. Much like the majority of sports podcasts. I'm not too into the let's ask this hypothetical question that really no one's asking, and then we'll all answer it in like the most absurd, extreme way possible. Like is
garage beer is not specific enough. There's a bunch of garage beers.
Is Lovie Smith gonna be the next Super Bowl winning coach? And then they'll all just like attack each other from different angles. It's like I just don't like that style of commentary.
Yeah.
I prefer my podcast to be more either in depth on one subject or just interview style.
Yeah, get some of that shock rock or shock radio or that drive
I
time.
don't like watching ESPN. I don't like watching Fox Sports 1, and I don't like listening to sports podcasts. But I haven't listened to the Kelsey brothers. Are they interesting?
I haven't listened.
Oh, you haven't either. So I should ask that.
You just have you're in tune with content more so than I am. So that's
I imagine it's like this where they just talk to each other.
Yeah, talk about stuff.
We could ask extreme questions like, is this beer going to be the next big hit of the season?
The one extreme point that I have, this beer is, for being as sweet as it is, this is I would drink multiples of those.
Hell yeah.
Cotton candy IPA.
I would drink a ton of these.
The biggest thing, we should have did this off the top. We're going to do our 4th year of Advent calendars this year. But of importance, you need to get us the fact that you're going to join the Advent calendar. And I'm going to put this all over social medias and where I can by the 25th of October.
Yeah.
The reason being is we have to get the orders in with the distributor because we are building, and you're welcome to come, on Friday, November 8th. It'll be 11 o'clock in downtown Dayton at the Barrel House.
What o'clock?
11 o'clock.
Yeah.
That's when they open.
11 o'clock.
And we're gonna
downtown Dayton.
We're going to order food this year.
Oh, we need to. That's
talking
to Sarah about that. I think that's been the key missing piece.
So she said there might be a couple of pizzas. Otherwise, they would send a run. But we've been talking. So anyways.
Wow.
11 o'clock, November 8th. But you have to let us know your intention that you're going to order one by October 25th.
October 25th.
And contact either one of us and we can get into details because I'm sure there's going to be 15 different things. Again, November 25th to let us know your intention. November 8th for the actual build.
Do it.
Okay, good. That's covered.
Do it.
Number two.
JT,
are you ready to buy a bar in downtown Dayton? Yep. There's another one for sale.
One? I know one's for sale.
Trolley Stop.
Trolley Stop, that's right.
Do you know the asking price?
I do. 1.4 or is it 4.1?
$900K.
Oh, okay.
Everything conveys though. It's unlike OE where OE you're just getting the recipe book and some of the equipment and the existing, the liquor license and the existing. Trolley Stop, you get everything. You get the bar, you get the rental property and back, and you get everything conveys.
Okay.
I remember seeing that. Very good price. The oldest.
It was a good price.
Oldest continuously operating bar in the Oregon district.
Wow. I wish I owned it.
I expect there will be bidders.
Yeah, there will be bidders.
Whether 900 is what they go in for,
they're gonna make some money. I think
they're gonna make a little bit of money. The only reason, and everyone's like, well, why would I buy something that people are just trying to get rid of? Is I'll spill all over the place. Is because the owner's retiring. The owner's had it for 29
it's not failing.
It's not failing. So,
but you could easily make it fail. Make a lot of bad decisions.
You could sink that because there's a lot of loyal people. They're locals, very opinionated about the bars and the order of which bars they go to, depending on the time when. Other big news: Leinenkugels decided that Summer Shandy, summer's in the name, is going to be available year round.
Oh damn!
They're going to brew
this is going to be shandy now.
Year round. No, it's going to be summer shandy. So you will be able to get a freshly brewed summer shandy in December or January.
Wow. Good for them.
Which is going to be a preamble or a foreshadow of a beer, our first beer today. And then my last thought, this is not beer related, but with Alien coming out, Alien Romulus, I was like, ooh, I want to watch the Alien quadrilogy plus the other ones. Do you know that the Alien movies, the Alien series, is available on Disney?
I didn't know that.
So does that make the Alien Queen the newest Disney princess?
Yeah.
Something to think about.
It does. It does.
Is she the most badass?
The most badass what?
Disney princess.
Disney princess?
Or tell me why it's Vanellope Von Sweets. And go.
Yeah, it would have to probably be the alien. Are we talking about Sigourney Weaver or the alien? The actual alien?
Well, the alien is the queen.
Okay, so she can't be a princess, she's the queen.
So then it's...
Queens are traditionally the bad villains.
So then it's Sigourney Weaver?
Is she a princess? I don't know. She is she's the question. Anna in the Frozen, right? She'd be like the main character. Well, there's a princess and there's somebody else. I haven't
in
seen
Frozen.
That
they're both princesses.
Time. Oh, they're both princesses?
Yeah, they're sisters.
Oh, they're sisters. All right. Well, that all just went to shit.
I liked where you're going, but
she's not. She's like a main character that's not in the royal family, you know.
Elsa in Frozen 1 was kind of bad.
She's Cinderella,
in the first
right?
two. In the middle act, Elsa was bad.
Sigourney Weaver is Cinderella. Cinderella's not part of the royal family.
I like where you were going. Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah, she's not. She's part of.
Come and get your peanuts.
Stepsister of somebody. I don't really. They never. Did they explain that whole family how that works? She's a stepsister. So the father or the mother have been remarried.
For who?
I don't know. Cinderella.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Well, anyway, she marries the prince. So.
All right. That covers everything that I want to cover. Is there anything that you would like to talk about?
No.
Just kidding. I don't want you to talk about this.
About what?
About life.
Okay.
Fuck. I screwed up.
Fair enough.
Grab one of those openers. That's the last thing I forgot. There you go. Boom. Okay, beer number 1.
Beer numero uno.
The reason why the Summer Shandy is we do not do a lot of pumpkin beers on this podcast.
They're out now.
They're out now. And we've remissed. Everyone likes to defend themselves. Pumpkin beers now start coming out the 3rd week in July. That's when Sarah tells people down at Barrel House. That's what
Chuggalo Pat. When do Oktoberfest start coming out?
Typically right now. So
so I just had the New Glarus one yesterday. So my wife brought it back.
What
Oktoberfest.
New Glarus Oktoberfest?
Mm-hmm. I'll get you one. Got a bunch. Yeah.
I didn't know.
I'm sure it's brand new because they were just there.
They went to New Glarus?
My wife and her dad went to Wisconsin.
Oh my gosh.
Not New Glarus.
Oh, where are they going in Wisconsin? Can you say?
I don't remember, but I'll find out.
I need to pass judgment. All right.
Probably somewhere.
So this is they went somewhere in Wisconsin.
Somewhere in Wisconsin. With cheese.
Oh. I was going to open both these. You get 2 openers, please.
All right.
There's another stack right there. We can have the same ones. Right off to the right.
There they are.
There we go.
I could just use Thor's hammer.
You can use any.
I'll use whatever. It's your house.
Okay. All right. So, beer number 1 is Schalfly Pumpkin Ale. And it's an 8% pumpkin ale.
Schalfly.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. We've been apart for so long that I forgot
it's all good.
How we do shit. All right. So this is out of... Do you know where Schalfly is out of?
No.
St. Louis, Missouri.
Ooh.
So you think of perennial when you think of St. Louis, Missouri. You think of Anheuser-Busch. What else? There's a couple of other big ones.
You know what I don't like about St. Louis? It's very boring.
I'm saying with beer. I still want to go to the City Museum. I'm trying to get my sister-in-law, who hasn't. She typically listens on Spotify, so she hasn't told me that we're a couple episodes behind on Spotify. But Chuggalos Sarah suggested that we do this one. The thing you can find out more from Schalfly, and SCHLA Fly FLY, and you can do that at their URL for restaurants. So they highlight their food more than their beer that I got from their websites, and they have their own apps and rewards. And what I mean by that is their app. I almost downloaded it because it was if you have like 5, you get your next beer free. Like it's just a bunch of incentivizing. To get that, and you would know about this with data collection, they're just after the ones and zeros, right?
Accept those terms and conditions, without reading them. They just want that data.
So I asked her, I need an October or a fall-inspired beer, and Matt and Maya had nothing for me, and Sarah goes, absolutely get that beer.
Yeah, good. I'm glad she did. I would say with a smaller company, like small businesses or restaurants, breweries, that they're probably not after your data. They probably really just want you to come back 5 times.
They just want you to come back 5 times.
They want you to spend money there. I don't think there's as much money in their data as you actually buying beer. So
it's crazy going from that pumpkin to that. It tasted way more like perfumey. In a non-appealing way.
Which one?
Going from the pumpkin back to the vape life.
Interesting. I could see that. Yeah, Schalfly.
Schalfly, I like that better.
Of the Sugar Ray song, Fly.
I just want... You know my favorite stat about that album? So that was Sugar Ray's second album. Their first album was called Lemonade and Brownies. All hard rock. If you get Floored, which is their sophomore album, Mark McGrath made a bet with the rest of the band. And they wanted to put out a radio song. So they're like, we'll do Fly. And the record wanted them to do that. And Mark McGrath goes, there's no way that this is going to work. So what they did was, this was back in 98 when singles were a big thing. Sorry, Stacey. So the bet was, Mark said, if the entire album sells more than the single, we don't do radio music, we'll do heavy metal the rest of our careers. The rest of the band said, there's no way. And that single outsold 8-1. I mean, they still made oodles of money and did tours. And then that's why you have like 1459 and all of these other albums that are all radio music. But that first album, Lemonade and Brownies, and that second album, Floored, outside of Fly, are all heavy metal. And they're good albums. Like good earworm albums.
Again, when you're not watching the Brew Crew, there's a channel called Punk Rock MBA, and he does a really deep dive into Sugar Ray. Goes over some of that stuff. Some of it contradicts what you're saying, but I'm not really sure where, so I don't want to say it and be wrong.
Yeah, so maybe Mark McGrath said we need to do radio, and the other guys
I don't know. Maybe that's what it was.
But the first two, like Lemonade and Brownies and Floored, are heavy metal besides Fly. And it's good, like Cash and RPM. Some of the B-side tracks that are just, they're bangers to this day and are in heavy rotation.
A lot of
in
their
my
songs
car.
are. I mean, he played a couple of them on that YouTube video, and
damn, I need some fucking cash. I need it pretty.
Yeah,
fast.
it's pretty good stuff. But anyway, Schalfly kind of reminds me of that.
Schalfly.
We'll do some can art. Why not? Why not? There it is. There's the neck art. Similar. Neck art.
All right.
It is a paper. It's a very it's got I don't know, farmer's market style paper kind of feel to it. Just very unfinished.
Interesting.
It's just
parchment.
Yeah, maybe parchment. Pumpkin ale. It's got a pumpkin patch on the background. Seems to be, and that's it. It's the can art bonus segment. It's awesome. This beer, so most pumpkin beers miss the mark. Every pumpkin beer misses the mark. It's got to taste like pumpkin pie. In my opinion, that's always been what I've said. And I know that people disagree. There's pumpkin spice. There's the pumpkin, just raw pumpkin flavor you could have. But there's like that perfect balance between those two flavors, pumpkin spice and the pumpkin itself, that makes pumpkin edible in a delightful way. And this is the first beer I've had that actually nails that flavor.
Wow.
Yeah.
Whiplash.
Really?
I thought the way you're like, beers need to do this. This isn't.
Every pumpkin beer I've had has been terrible. This is the first one I've had that I actually want to drink. And I'm going to drink it. I like this beer. It's excellently made. In fact, I'll have to venture to say it's the best pumpkin beer I've had.
Wow.
I don't know that there's better ones out there. There probably are. I don't know. The beer that, underlies this, the actual flavor of the beer itself without the pumpkin, may contribute. Maybe it's muted enough to where the pumpkin's the star, and that's where other pumpkin beers fail.
Sorry, Stacey.
I'd still like to see I've had a pumpkin stout at least one time because I remember having it, but I don't remember liking it, and I feel like there's room there to make something great. But until I have it, this will be the best pumpkin beer I've had. I mean, it's perfectly executed. I don't think that amongst pumpkin beers, this is a 5. But on its own, against everything, it's pretty good. I think that I would need just a little bit more of something. Maybe viscosity. I don't know. Something that this beer is a dessert in a bottle if it just had more dessert.
Creaminess.
Maybe creaminess. Yeah, like a marshmallow or the milk sugar. So I'm pretty high on this beer. I'm at a 4.75. Nearly perfect.
Shocking.
Yeah, I can't believe you thought I was going to give it a bad score.
So a good suggestion by Chuggalo
Great suggestion.
Sarah.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I said, I want your best, and she suggested this one. Maybe it's been, because it's been 10 months, this beer wants me clamoring for more. I love that it's 8%, because it doesn't taste like there's alcohol at all. Besides the beer profile, this could be anywhere south of 5, and I wouldn't be surprised. I was like, this is a 4.2. This is at 8%. I was adding my score into Untappd at the same time, and people were like, this is heavy. I don't get heavy from this.
No, I don't get heavy. This is almost light. It's almost too light.
This doesn't weigh me down or anything like that.
Heavy.
Yeah, I don't get it. So I'm just lost in that. So I disagree with that. I'm with JT. I want more. I want more nutmeg. I want more spice.
No, don't mess with the spice, in my opinion. I think leave it where it's at.
Body to it. It's for Thanksgiving. It's the one thing that if I'm going to have a dessert, because usually I'm more of a savory person.
Yeah.
I don't have like cherry pie, apple pie, any of that stuff. Pumpkin pie is where I go, and a good pumpkin pie doesn't need whipped cream or Cool Whip or Ready Whip or anything like that. Off the top rope, I give this a 3.75.
All right.
It is. I'm glad she suggested it though, and again, I want to get more into these. I like Warlock and Southern Tier. Those are my
I don't like the Southern Tier.
There are Nitro Southern Tier. Yeah, Southern Tier does.
We've had them
Nitro.
On the podcast, I think.
Yeah. Have we?
I think so.
I don't know.
I bought it. I don't know if I brought it on the podcast, but
that's one thing. They do the high 6-pack, the cardboard. You know, the lower one, it saves cost or whatever, but those other ones that block more light getting into the body, they go up to like the shoulder. Those are really beers of note. This again, how is this heavy? Like we're crushing this.
It's not heavy.
It's not often too. I mean, I've got some plans for the future, but it's not often that we drink bottled beer. And we both have a bottles. We'll split a lot of bottles.
Yeah, we have a lot of bottles we split. No, we both got bottles.
And that's the thing with the Advent calendar, by the way, that's due, speaking of October.
Yeah.
Your intention is due by October 25th. But come join us. always have a lot of bottles in that because we always like to scratch the bellies for our friends at the Barrel House. Mm-hmm. She already says she has one in mind that's been sitting. Hopefully it's AleSmith Decadence 2001.
Oh yeah, that'd be great. I don't know, 2001 might be too long.
She said it's AleSmith Decadence 1996.
Okay.
It's gonna be good.
Good year. Bulls won the championship that year. And most other years.
Most other years in the 90s, yeah. God, that's crushable. 8%. 2 just very crushed out of here beers. Okay.
Crushed like a baseball into the upper deck.
I just have such a backlog in the fridge, but again, like I said, I've got plans. I need to pivot.
You got to pivot.
I'm just going to say I'm going to pivot. I'm going to pivot with my beer selections coming up here shortly.
All
right. Beer number 2. This is my number 2 sought after brewery after Treehouse. They're both from the same state, and they both begin with the letter T. This is Trillium. Trillium's, I've talked about this on the podcast recently. Their distribution has absolutely exploded. They're now available in Ohio without having to have it shipped. They're available in Wisconsin without having to have it shipped. This is Tiny Chicken. Tiny Chicken is a 5.6% pale ale. Mine's primed. Are you not primed?
It wasn't primed.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. You can find out more from trilliumbrewing.com. Their website is much like their can art, is basic and minimalist. It's all about shipping because I don't know what changed in their distribution, but they're all about getting beer into the customer's hands. So everything is about shipping. Everywhere that they ship to, how you would do their product, but there's no about us. But again, highly sought after by this beer podcaster. And in the Massachusetts area, they have 3 separate tap rooms. So Schalfly had 4. Trillium has 3. And now that this beer is off the list, I just need to get me some Treehouse. And I bought up every variant that they had available at the store. I just made sure I got it all. Chuggalo Pat put some off to the side for me. This is where I felt bad. It was on a Tuesday, on beer delivery day. I was like, I'll be there tomorrow. Forgot on Wednesday, so I went on Thursday.
Well, that's all right.
He's like, I'm not worried. I saw him I saw him at Sam's Club last week, and we sat there.
Nice.
We sat there in the Sam's Club cafeteria and had a nice conversation.
That's good. I wish I had good contacts like that. It's weird. I just don't have the same spark with people. But I'm not bothered by it. I like to get in and out of stores as quickly as possible.
Well, I was checking out. I was pushing my cart, and I saw him and his dad.
That's great.
I met Pat's dad, Smat.
Smat?
Smat.
His name's Smat?
Smat and Pat.
Oh, yeah, that sounds like a name.
That's their Anglicanized names.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They're not really Pat or Smat.
No. Nope. Okay, American Pale Ale. There's a lot to process with this beer. I don't know what to I never know what to expect out of an American Pale Ale. I'm sure it's a style.
You know what your favorite is? Rolling Rock. That's your favorite.
That's an American Pale Ale?
Pretty sure it's
that's really what I was going to get at here is every time I drink an American Pale Ale, the expectations are it's a blank canvas. What am I going to get? What do people interpret an American Pale Ale as? I have no idea because it seems to be different every time. This one holds the India Pale Ale close to heart, I think, where it uses the hop as its center point.
Sierra Nevada Pale Ale, Dale's Pale Ale, Two Hearted IPA. That's not an IPA.
Those are IPAs.
Mosaic, no, God. But
yeah, I'm not
Sierra,
sure what's going
Sierra
on.
Nevada.
Okay. So Sierra Nevada's American Pale Ale does not register like this to me. I don't think it has this much hop profile. So maybe it's just I was just talking with one of my coworkers about he's talking about how in the early 1800s America had no culture,
And that was probably true because of how young we were as a country. And do we have culture now? Who the fuck knows? But every time we go to another country, they act like we don't have culture. No, it's just that you don't like American culture. American culture is a distinct thing. But in this regard, American pale ales don't seem to have a distinct profile.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, this is by my measure, which is a good measure. This is an IPA.
I'm going to go over the top American pale ale is a beer that's near and dear to your heart. I know it.
Which is it?
Zombie Dust, which I know.
Zombie Dust is an American pale ale.
Yeah.
All right. So maybe they are IPAs.
I have number 2 in the fridge right now.
I do like Zombie Dust.
Which is Trillium's Fort Point. Pseudo Sue is double dry hopped.
Double dry hopped American pale ale.
Yep.
Pseudo Sue.
Yep.
Wow. Blow me down, as Popeye says.
Yeah, they have a Pseudo Sue Galaxy dry hopped. Oh yeah, Pseudo. They're all over.
These are all American. All right, so maybe the style of American pale ale is IPA.
This is Trillium.
Because all these beers I thought were IPAs.
Trillium's got 5 in the top 20.
Yeah, that's
Alpha King. Oh, by the way, Three Floyds now sells variety packs in their 12-pack. It's awesome.
Oh, okay.
It's such a good.
So you'll do a variety pack, which I actually am anti. But you won't do
it's 3
flights.
It's 3 beers of each though.
Yeah, I don't want variety packs. I don't want that shit.
Fucking crazy.
There's always some garbage in there.
I would know. Okay, yes, because Dorothy Old World Common is in
exactly. There. Fucking Dorothy, dude.
But in the Three Floyds, it's War Mullet, which is their double IPA, Zombie Dust.
Wait, Dorothy, I thought that was Toppling Goliath. You said Toppling Goliath?
Yeah, Toppling Goliath.
Oh, I thought you said
Three Floyds does one. I was telling you the 4 beers.
Oh, okay. So what are the 4? Zombie Dust?
War Mullet. I'd have to go to the fridge.
Probably Gumball Head.
No, Gumball Head is not one. No.
Do they even make that beer anymore? I haven't seen it in a long
time. They do. That's one that you would like, though. That's
I'm sure I've had it like a dozen times.
Cream ale, but
I remember. Make more cream ales. What's going on with this brewing industry?
Right?
Cream ales need to be innovated. I mean, we got Mother Earth and then no one else. And Mother Earth is killing it with the cream ales. It's a great beer. This beer, it's got a, it's been a while since we've had a beer that had this amount of, like raw dankness, raw BO. And I say that in like a beer way. Like there's just this flavor.
I like where you're coming at it with it.
Like a lot of people claim that all the IPAs taste like BO. They don't. There's just a certain class of IPAs, and they're not even all West Coast. Just some West Coasts are just amped up regular IPAs that just have so much more bitterness. This one has a very distinct breath, and it's like, it would be like grapefruit.
The rind
with,
again.
Not the grapefruit and armpit, and that's a beer flavor. Believe it or not, people listening to this podcast who don't drink beer, they're saying yes. That's why I don't drink those beers. A lot of people, that's their argument. This beer actually is this
is not an entry level.
No, it's definitely not entry level, but this is what is the word I'm looking for? It's the manifestation of the arguments against IPAs that people make, like people who don't like IPAs. And that's what this beer is. And that's fine. Trillium, you said they have 5 in the top 20?
5 in the top 20. And it's...
American or beers?
American Pale Ales.
Of all American Pale Ales?
Yeah, according to... I think that was beer.
So what's interesting about this beer is that it's a 5.6. I think that might be the most interesting thing. What do you think the alcohol content of IPAs was back when IPA was invented? High, right? Probably super high. Probably like approaching booze.
Really? You think it was that high?
I don't know. Do you ever wonder what getting hungover was like back then?
Yeah, and then being on a ship.
Like, you got to be on a ship, and you have to work, and, like, no one gives two shits that you're hungover.
Maybe they just didn't get hungover, and it's just...
Maybe they're just good at drinking.
Pussification.
Or they just drank all the time, and they were alcoholics. That's probably more what it was.
The ABV of 18th century beer at somewhere between 3.5%.
What's the ceiling on that? Because that sounds low.
Yeah.
God, this shit was like aged forever. It's fermenting constantly. Anyway,
exported beer 7-8%.
Oh, okay. Well, they're getting pretty.
Modern English bitters which we've had before in the Advent Calendar. By the way, you want to participate this year, 25 October, 3.5 were the English bitters. So
that's low. Yeah, that's super low. That's like
ancient beers were 10%.
Yeah, that makes more sense. Ancient beers. I mean, they're getting fucked up. Imagine never having alcohol in your whole life. You're 40, 50 years old.
I've never had alcohol.
Someone gives you like a 10% beer. A whole mug of it.
I just poured it in my cheek and just...
Yeah. Like the Egyptians, they were drinking some crazy shit. They were basically just drinking like grain alcohol.
With floaters.
Yeah, tons of floaters. They didn't have filtration back then. There was no such thing. That's the can art bonus segment.
That's very minimalist, much like their website.
As many words as I need to use for this. There's actually probably more words than there are actual things on this can. That is a chicken laying an egg. It says tiny chicken, but there's nothing there for scale. There's no scale. There's no other references to size, so it could be a tiny chicken. The egg is also tiny then. That's because it's proportional. So it is very small on the can, though. It's right there.
It's tiny.
Apparently. I just learned. I was just talking to a farmer the other day, and
what's the farmer's name?
I'm not going to say.
Okay.
It's Adam. But I'm only saying that because I think someone listens who knows Adam. I wouldn't call him a full-time farmer, but he owns cows and chickens.
You should have said, I don't know what his name-o is.
Oh, yeah. I was hoping for... You did tee me up.
I was hoping for his... I was hoping for a gimmick.
I didn't hit that one. Anyway, he's a good dude, and he was describing the process of eliminating the roosters. Because something you don't think about, which I don't think of, maybe you do.
I do.
Is that when you raise chickens and then you do allow some of the eggs to be fertilized so you can continue to raise chickens, sometimes you get a rooster.
Yeah.
And he had 6 roosters. And my question was, is there no one that could use roosters? And his answer was, it's just cheaper to kill them.
It's just cheap.
Now those are the words of a farmer.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't have time to think about
posting up Facebook Marketplace.
Not that, but more just like what do you call it? Like remorse and stuff or whatever. He doesn't have time for that. He's just like, I have 6 roosters. They're causing problems. I'm gonna get rid of them. And then he described the process of getting rid of them, and it was quite funny.
Yeah.
Because the second one gun is shot, you have to find these roosters. And that sounds like fun, actually. Anyway.
Growing up on a dairy farm, it's the same way with bulls. There's no money in having bulls. So...
there's no meat, edible meat on that?
Yeah, but... So veal is typically...
Yeah, but you can't raise a bull to eat grass and be a Wagyu kind of thing?
You can't. Not.
You know what I'm saying? Like the Wagyu eats certain diets, right?
Not on a dairy farm.
Not on a dairy farm.
No.
So so you're not looking for meat on a dairy farm?
No.
There's no just
No, it's just Holstein.
There's no just
females.
What do they call that? It'd be just peripheral, or it would just be it would be
some farmers even.
Sometimes there's just a benefit, a consequence of the job is you have now meat.
Yeah, so you still have to like raise silage and all that, a boy or a juvenile or whatever but there's families that will share a bull.
Yeah.
And it just comes in and inseminates all the females.
Not good? Oh, you mean share a live one?
Yeah.
Is the meat not as good as a cow?
Yep. No, the meat, and this is pure dairy cows. You don't eat dairy cows. It's expensive, yeah, because they get dry and tough or whatever. Like that's not when you go to the store, the meat that you're picking out is not from dairy cows. Like we said,
yeah. So he's raising cows. The guy I was talking about he's not raising dairy cows.
A lot of dairy cows will get sent off to like Packerland in Wisconsin. So like they'll get donated and then they get chopped up into like burger and stuff like that.
Ground meat and stuff.
Yeah.
That's fine.
But
makes sense.
Yeah, a lot of the like when you buy half a cow, it's never
you're not getting a dairy cow.
You're not getting a dairy cow.
Yeah. Okay, got it. Anyway.
But that's the difference between like cows and steers. So like you're typically getting a steer.
And a heifer.
Yeah, a heifer. Yep. So another terminology.
More terms.
From
Rocco's Modern Life. Tiny chicken. Yeah, laying an egg. That's it. That's the can out bonus segment. The rest is all white. Very cool. Very appealing, but I assume Trillium, like Maine, has a theme.
It's very, very minimalist.
So,
everything is
you'll
the
see
white
these cans next to each other. And in some regard, when you have cans like this all next to each other, they lose their significance in the can art because they're just common amongst each other.
You have to pick it up and look so closely at what type of beer it is. Mm-hmm. But this is the pale ales, IPAs. That's their sweet spot. I haven't seen them in the 5 different variants. I haven't seen them deviate from one of those two. Sorry, Stacy.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to put this in something.
Wow,
they're all Wisconsin. I need to find something that's not.
Well, that's a pub crawl.
Yeah, I like Wisconsin. I think that's a clever phrase, turn of phrase or whatever. It's just
this is a seltzer can. That's
the reason why I need to do that is because this beer is only good ice cold. It's starting to taste like a gym sock and if it was filtered through one.
You went from licking armpits to gym socks. These are just...
I just can't figure out where I stand on this beer.
I can't wait for next week when it's...
What's my score?
This tastes like a twisted
I can't figure out
sack.
my score. I almost can't give it a score, but I'm going to give it a score. I'm going to give this beer... It needs to be ice cold. Man. I think this beer is a solid... man. I think it's probably well executed.
Solid.
I think it's well executed, probably. I don't want because I feel like you've built up Trillium to this point where they've got to be branch and bone. We would never insult their abilities.
Yeah.
Because these guys know what they're doing.
Mr. Trillium is actually watching this.
Mr. Trillium.
I told him. I called him up.
He is the reason they named it the flower that. Is that a poisonous flower? I don't know much about flowers. I know there's some poisonous ones out there from Breaking Bad. That's not a Trillium. That's I don't remember. A hoisin or something like that?
Hoisin sauce.
325. I just no, and this is not a comment on
it's a
Trillium.
Solid 325.
I'm sure that Trillium.
Solid.
No, I think that they.
No, you said solid.
Yes, it is solid. I think they probably made the beer up to the standards that they had hoped. Excellently.
Okay. The pumpkin ale is not heavy. This beer is heavy.
Yeah, this beer is super heavy, right?
This beer is heavier. Now, maybe because this is our third beer or whatever, and we split one or whatever. I appreciate the aggressive profile that this beer has as a pale ale. You can't think of IPAs and pale ales separate and you're like, a pale ale is a light IPA. It's not the case at all. The ABV is only at 5.6% and you don't taste it, but the volume is this is taking up 17 times the amount of space that those two other beers that we had, the Fermentorium Cotton Candy IPA, by the way, and the Schalfly, we're saying that wrong, but whatever, pumpkin ale. Off the top rope again, 4.5. I like it, and JT may have hit something. I talked Trillium up. All the Trillium beers that I've had so far, they've all been just awesome and what they are. It's a non-gimmicked. It's just a balance of, not German purity laws, because there's a little bit that goes into it. But they're not. It's not extraneous. There's not like kumquat. Or,
right. It's not a gimmick IPA. It's a legit IPA. And I think you talked them up just fine. They have a reputation. That's great. Yeah. If you like the breath that this provides you, then you'll love this beer. Really, they deliver for those who want this. And I think I'm just not the audience. It's okay. No offense to Trillium. I mean, it's like I think that
sorry, Mr. Trillium.
They crafted this perfectly.
JT and I will still.
You did hype him up, though.
To all
you
three,
did hype him up.
All three of the locations.
It's your fault.
A lot of it is. It's not Mr. Trillium's fault.
It's all good.
A lot
Mr.
of it
Trillium's
is
fine.
The exclusivity, not being able to get things.
That's key. I mean,
and
that's
when you're
what
able to
did
get
it for
things.
Pliny for me. I just couldn't get it.
But you like Blind Pick.
Yeah, I like Blind Pick.
So you like other things that they do.
But those are also hard to get for us.
Oh yeah, all of it.
They're all hard to get. Just Russian River. But if we were there, we'd be like, oh, it's Russian River. It's Warped Wing, basically.
I have 3 or 4 bottles of Russian
Imagine
River
what they think about Warped Wing in California.
Russian River wine.
They probably love Warped Wing. They're probably like, holy shit, this is the best. Or when before Rhine Guys got to Chicago, there were people who would come to Ohio and buy it.
It's like Chuggalos.
Buy Truth.
Chuggalo Dave with Yingling.
Mm-hmm. Everyone with Yingling. Let's just be honest. Everyone with Yingling.
If you can't get it.
Yeah, you want it.
Yeah.
Once it hits your state, you're like, fuck this.
Yeah.
Now Truth is on the bottom shelf in the corner,
which is crazy.
Of the aisle at not Arrow. It's Binny's in Chicago. It's crazy.
Did I ever tell you my
great beer?
We have so many truth stories. I'm going to tell you a truth story. Yeah. I'm going to tell the Chuggalos a truth story.
I have a lot of good
because
truth
stories. It's coming up. So I will. You're going to tell one after me, right?
I can. I think I've told it already, but I'll tell it again.
I'm going to tell. I think I've told this one, but we've got almost 300 episodes of these.
I'll tell my first truth story.
That just goes to show you, he's just going to be truthful for the first time ever.
First time ever, exclusive here.
Exclusive.
Coming up.
Everything else is
after this commercial. I'll be truthful.
All those Busch Light commercials.
All those Busch Lights. Those were truthful.
False.
That Bushkin Spice Latte commercial, which is Bushkin Spice Latte season. Everyone.
I have all of those commercials still.
I love them. Me too.
Written out. Okay.
I have all the audio.
All right. So, truth. I'm going to tell everyone the conclusion of this story. Truth is
before the
how my mother-in-law saw me naked.
Truth beer?
Truth. Rheingeist Truth.
Rheingeist Truth is how your mother-in-law saw you naked.
Saw me naked.
So you drank too many truths?
I've never told this story? Or are you just being
Maybe
a bro?
you did. I don't remember. Okay. I don't remember the story.
So this weekend...
I'm also bad at remembering things.
I'll say this. I'll commit to that. My wife's favorite cousin is coming to visit us. And her husband, Mike... So
now we know which cousin you're talking about.
Mike and Megan.
She's married to Mike. Yeah.
Mike and Megan. I officiated their wedding. So, anyways, he was a big fan of Truth.
Yeah.
And they're from Wisconsin. Mm-hmm. And they couldn't get it. Now it's available, like you said. So, we were back in Wisconsin, and I purposely brought him Truth. When I'm going to go to somebody's house and I know that they like a specific...
You're going to bring it.
I'm going to bring it.
You're gifting it to him.
He, sorry, Stacey, stood us up.
Whoa, Mike.
And, right?
Come on, dude.
So I go, we're going to get him back. And she goes, all right, what are we going to do? And Stacey is down to clown. So I go, I'm going to get naked, and I'm going to take a picture of a can of Truth properly placed in my in-laws' living room.
With shaft or just balls? Because you're a balls guy.
No, I'm naked. It's in front of the whole thing.
So you just have it... I thought maybe the can would be placed in front of the dick or something.
Strategically, it's in front of everything. So it's strategically...
well, I don't know about that. You said everything.
Yeah, it's in front... I'm naked.
What's in the picture is what I'm saying. What are you trying to capture?
My naked body in a can of Truth.
Covering what?
Everything, because I'm standing up.
So you got it covering all the junk.
Everything, but you can...
you keep saying everything.
Yeah.
But, I mean, how many times have I received a picture of your nutsack
And you would probably just argue you weren't showing anything.
But here's the thing.
Everything's covered by your hand.
I'm not tumescent. So, no, it's just like me holding a can. Here, I'm just going to get up.
All right, let's see this example.
Me holding a can.
You're holding the can.
Like this.
This will be great for the...
this.
Okay, got it.
Like this.
Got it.
Naked.
Got it.
Okay. So, anyway, standing in my in-laws' bedroom. That was my mistake.
Yeah.
Stacy's going to take a picture.
Bad idea.
My in-laws have a famously large living room.
Famously large.
Modest house.
I've heard. It's like a football field.
Yes.
Full size.
90% of their house is the living room. Everything else is just
two end zones. There's 2 end zones and goalposts.
And so it was late.
They live in a field house.
Yeah.
If you've heard of those.
It was late. Let's call it 7:15. And so we're taking this picture, and all of a sudden, my mother-in-law, the hallway to the rest of the 10% of the house is over my shoulder. Over, this would be...
Just the 10%.
Just the 10%.
The rest
but
is
there's
in
a
front of
hallway.
you.
The rest of it is in front of us.
Yeah, I can't see that.
And so we got the picture. We're sending it. It's hilarious.
You're sending it. You have yet.
My mother-in-law goes, "What's going on?" I just turn around.
Never do you need to knock on your own door.
No, there's no door. It's a hallway.
Oh, you're in the hallway.
We're in the living room.
You're in the living room.
The hallway goes to the living room.
I thought you were in there. You said you were in your in-laws' bedroom.
No, I was at their house.
At their house.
Yeah. So there I was.
This is a very rocky story.
Naked as the day is long. I didn't have the truth can in front of the cash and prizes when I turned around. So I was like, "What are you doing in your house?"
Yeah,
trying to walk around freely.
We have a
very similar
modest-sized house that we host a lot of people in, and
it's a ranch
so
style.
I originally thought that you were in their bedroom because I thought you said you were in their bedroom.
Why would I?
Your first mistake. I don't know.
I'm gonna go on record because they listen.
I gotta rewind the tape.
I've never been naked in their bedroom. I'm gonna go on record. They listen. They listen when it drops. I'm gonna hear about it this weekend. Either way, but my mother-in-law has seen me naked. That and the day we got married, I also hung my ass out the booze cruise bus between the ceremony.
Is it weird when you get married? And
yes, it is weird.
It is weird.
Just one vagina.
Well, like
we'll edit that.
I don't know. Yeah. When your wife gets pregnant and then you have to admit to your in-laws that you've had sex with their daughter.
Yeah, well, I don't.
They have to know. They have to know by that point.
I don't. Maybe you'll incorporate that into your story.
Here's the thing.
I don't feel comfortable talking about
that.
When you
say we're having a baby, which it took you a lot longer into your marriage than it did for my wife and I. We were pregnant like immediately.
That's it for episode 293. You
have to be like just the words we're expecting, just that phrase, that implies so much more. Like there's so much weight behind those words. You know, I don't want to be awkward here because I know that two of our listeners, or at least one of our listeners, is an in-law of yours.
They've listened together.
Okay, good. So both. So
I've watched them listen, and they're like, "Oh, come listen to this."
So this is really relevant to them then.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go too far.
That one doesn't bother that one.
Well, because they know. That's what I'm saying. They know now.
Yeah.
There's no secret. When you're expecting, secret's out.
No, so did a full mass
Immaculate
wedding.
Inception is what you're saying.
No, full mass wedding, Catholic.
Catholic? Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so did the full mass. So what we did was when we consummated the marriage, we hung out the bloody sheets. You didn't do that?
Bloody sheets?
That's what they do.
I don't know what kind of consummation you're doing.
That's how. Okay, so joke. That's how historically they proved that the.
Yeah, I'm sure.
No, to dry the sheets out.
I think about history is just such an insane
like
time.
in the 16
all history 15s. Is insane. None of these women had bloody sheets. Those bloody sheets were fabricated for sure.
No, there's many stories.
Well, I guess maybe when like genuine fear of God, like there was a time in our human history where that was a greater fear than it is now, I'm sure. And I think that maybe that's true.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know. That seems.
You want to tell your truth story?
My truth story, I've told it before, but first truth, I had 3 truths at the Hoff's house. Oh no, I was actually at Randy Orton's house. He was moving, and the only 2 idiots who showed up to help were me and Hoff.
Because helping people move sucks. And you learn that as you get older. And
they always call people with trucks.
Yeah, I didn't have a truck back then.
Yeah.
I had a Mitsubishi Galant and a Nissan Rogue. Back in those days.
Was this his inter-Oakwood move?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, he was going from Aberdeen to the street he's currently on. And Chuggalo Hoff, he brought truth. And I was like, what's this?
They've both been on the podcast.
Yeah.
Episode, let's say 240.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Where we caught them. We got them. We had a PowerPoint and everything.
Yeah. So yeah, we
some of our closest friends.
So yeah, he did that, and it was I got hammered on 3 beers because I wasn't expecting it.
Hammered on 3 beers.
I mean, we're talking 2000.
I don't remember that story.
15 maybe.
I'd been around for a couple.
You don't remember this?
No.
Okay, yeah, that was it.
2015. That's like 6 months after the breakfast tacos.
So if you were to ask me now how I think Randy Orton would move,
you drove from Tip City down for that. Troy. Well,
yeah, because I wanted to be a good friend.
Up north, you drove from Canada to help out.
Keep in mind that
he didn't ask me to help.
I had worked in.
It's probably when I was doing military.
I need you to keep something in mind when you think about my desire to be friends with Randy Orton. I was in the same office from 2012 to 2015, and I was basically just disregarded as just another dumb idiot that just processed data all day long. And I had bigger ideas. I was like, I'd gotten my master's degree at that point, and Andy was the one who came and got me out of there and said, I think you'd be good at this data science stuff. So because he saved me from that hellhole, that dark room, you know what room I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Fuck that place.
Question your timeline.
I really wanted to thank him, so I decided I'll help him move. And if you were to think about how Randy Orton might move, you would think definitely he wouldn't use boxes. He would borrow all of the bins. All of the Rubbermaid containers and bins from the entire Dayton metropolitan area, and that's how he'd move. And that's exactly what he did.
Misty Kinsey did the same.
I can't believe how many people use bins.
You said that you got your master's in 2015.
No, I got it in 2016.
Yeah, you said.
So I wasn't done yet, but I was in the process. All right, I misspoke. Yeah. I was halfway done. Halfway there.
And you moved
like Bon Jovi.
Yeah.
But he still took me out of that room. And that was
he did. When you moved back, he took you out of it.
When what?
When you moved back, he took you out of it.
He took me out before I moved. I moved after. I moved in 2016.
So you repaid his kindness by saying, fuck you, I'm done.
I did. I actually finished my master's in Illinois.
Yeah. So you hadn't had your master's.
So
that's why.
I didn't. You're right. So the timeline doesn't check out. But I had started my master's.
The reason why I was quiet, I was like, he doesn't have 2 masters.
No, just one.
2 masters.
Oh, you're good. Yeah, because you visited me for my master's graduation.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And then
so I was.
Randy Orton was good to me. He made me pay for everything.
Yeah, that was different.
Drove the fucking.
He didn't. Yeah, we see it with.
Drove the meat.
Transferring from one room to another in the same building, you don't have to pay transportation costs.
Yeah.
So that's why he was so willing to facilitate. But yeah, so I appreciate that. And so I drove from Troy down to Dayton, helped him move. All bins. Couldn't believe it. Bins are not as easily stackable. They are stackable, but they're not there's gaps and shit. Boxes are much easier.
Oh, yeah. You can't consolidate as well as you can with boxes.
I was pretty lit up. I don't think 3 beers was... I think I was deeper than that.
Yeah.
They weren't even selling 12-packs at the time. You had to buy 6-packs. This was a long time ago.
That's back during Chuck's heavier Hoff days.
And Randy Orton hosted... Yeah, it was.
He poker party?
Poker at his house. The old house. That was fun. I came to that one, too. I had a Dodge Charger, actually. No, I didn't have the Galant anymore. I missed that car.
He utilized, and he still has, I think, the housewarming gift I got him, which was a fridge.
You got him a fridge?
Yeah.
The mini fridge?
Yeah, the mini fridge.
Yeah, he does still utilize that.
Yeah. Look at that. God. The gift that
keeps all zombie ice.
I think of all the gifts that Randy Orton's got me. Grief and strife. Sadness.
Lunches. But did he pay for those? Probably.
No, God.
Just talks.
Fucking excellent.
Yep. That's my truth story. Also, I do adore and have fond memories of the Rheingeist Brewery. I think it's a memory I'll have of Ohio.
My favorite truth / JT story was JT's trip to Rheingeist.
My trip.
Your trip.
But not with you?
No, you were behind us.
I was behind you?
Your trip on the way to get there on the scooter.
Did I trip?
You and the train tracks.
I was fine.
No, but the fact that where's JT? We were standing outside.
See, the thing is that there's different standards for how you live and interact through the world with Matt versus everyone else. And Matt decided to take off. And and I didn't know what I was doing. But I was already drunk.
At that point, everyone's like, where's JT? We waited. We didn't go upstairs.
I was having a great time.
We weren't on the 4th floor.
No, from the scooter across the tracks, we were going to that 8-bit or 16-bit place.
No, this was on the
from Rheingeist.
This was on the way to Truth.
No, I think we crossed the tracks after Rheingeist. Vivid was memory. Several sheets to the wind by that point.
Vivid memory. Vivid.
You have vivid memory of that?
Vivid.
I remember being at 16-bit, so I already don't play video games, and so I was like way drunk already, and I was like, I'm additionally not gonna play these video games.
I bought a couple of drinks there, but yeah. I remember talking to DBC, and he's like, yeah, he was just behind me, and then all of a sudden, classic.
I was good. I made it.
There's a couple of good pictures of us.
Did I make it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's a couple of... And you made it, but you're like, I've never ran that fast. You're like, I had it floored and hit the... I just remember, like...
I don't remember falling.
No, you didn't.
Oh.
And I just, like... He was like Flintstones, the whole, like, just, like, keeping up.
I was on the scooter, though.
Yeah. No, you didn't.
Why was I running?
Because you felt... The scooter hit the train gap.
Uh-huh.
And stopped, and you kept running.
Oh, okay. I don't remember that.
I remember you
saw
reenact it. No, because I was already there.
It. Okay.
Because I already took off.
Yeah, I know, because you took off.
There's a great picture of us that's buried somewhere on that. I didn't realize they had a rooftop bar at that time, by the time we got there.
16-bit? No, the place
at
we
the brewery,
went for
at the Rheingeist Brewery.
Oh, Rheingeist. Yeah. Okay.
There's a great picture.
Well, the restaurant we went to also had a rooftop. That's where I asked for all the bread.
That's all the bread. Yeah, different.
I don't remember anything about that.
Yeah, the other picture was we were looking to the left. This one was we were across the table from each other. And then the bathroom, we're up on the rooftop, 3 stories up. The bathrooms are all the way in the basement.
Yep. And I visited the bathroom several times to try to puke, and I couldn't.
Long stairwells.
And I don't think I did, actually. I think I actually was more hungover after the Columbus trip than the Cincinnati trip, which is really hard to believe because I tried to throw up in Cincinnati.
We went to bed so early for the Cincinnati trip.
Mm-hmm. I tried puking.
Everyone was asleep by 7 o'clock. Besides Cobra. Cobra made it for most of the movie, he said.
I was already out.
We left the hotel by 5:30 the next morning. Columbus, which was the first Bobo, we maxed out our time, and we're like, we're all hungry. We wanted snacks, and somebody was like, we can't get snacks. We got to go. And we're like, what the... And that's where, like, we were sleeping random. And
that's funny.
That was...
we can't get snacks. We went to, like, a bodega in Columbus.
Yeah, that was the OHIO.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so weird.
No, Columbus, I got home and puked immediately.
I couldn't have done that drive had I not drove. Like, I couldn't have been in the back seat.
No way. Yeah, I was in the passenger seat and I struggled.
Yeah, because it was you, and then I had... Rachel Ray, and who else? DBC, because we dropped DBC off.
Was Coburn out there?
No, I think he drove himself.
Oh, yeah.
Because I won't go anywhere without my vehicles. And the thing is, DBC has a land yacht. The guy has a Suburban. But let's take Matt's fucking Jeep.
Oh, yeah, DBC has. Yeah. Well, you won't go anywhere without your vehicle.
I need to... That's the thing. I'll drive by myself.
And here's the thing. Like, I hate driving. It's not an activity I enjoy doing. So if someone's already like, I'll drive. Okay, I'll just tag along then.
I'll drive all the time.
I'll help pay for gas. Like, I'm not going to be a piece of shit about it, but I don't like driving at all.
But
I hate driving. It's such a dumb activity.
So amazing.
With other people, like have you seen Last Man on Earth?
Yeah.
Yeah, if I was like that, I'd do it all day.
October 25th.
Yes.
If you've made it to this point, let us know your attention on the Advent calendar. Even if you do or you don't, pre or post, please consider coming down to Dayton, Ohio for the Advent calendar build on Friday, the 8th of November.
The 8th of November.
At 11 o'clock.
Monday will be a holiday,
and
so
we're
have several days to recover.
Yep, we're going to order food.
Yeah, we're going to order food.
We're going to order food this year. We're looking at pizza. I want something super simple, like handhelds or doesn't work Chinese and shit like that.
Chinese, not good for drinking.
But we're going to have the run of the bar again as Sarah builds our Advent calendars for us.
Yeah. It'll be good.
It's going to be very good. JT, take us home.
Greek food. That's episode 293. I think we covered a lot of meaty topics, including truth and lies.
Truth and lies. There you go.
Truth and lies. There
Truth
it is.
And lies.
That's the episode 293. Thanks for joining us. We are Matt and John. Bye.